It's unlikely having a higher stealth stat would make much of a difference anyway.
Hello and meowdy YouTube! Welcome back to another video. My name is Saphwyn, the silly Vtuber, and today we are reacting to our Crows Overpowered by TierZoo. So if you guys like crows, you are in the right spot. If you guys do not like crows, hopefully this video will convince you to like crows. Let's dig on in.
They've already lost. They just don't know it. Hit from behind.
Bro, he's just playing around with a vulture.
Stop looking at me. Attack! Save it for the enemy. We've lost control of
Damn.
the outpost.
He just bamboozled a vulture.
Primates are notorious for their incredibly broken intelligence stat, which grants them access to incredible advanced techniques such as tool use, coordinated team strategies, and even bartering and trade. But primates are not the
I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of animals out there that are way smarter than we think that they are.
only faction in the game.
They're playing Dance Dance Revolution!
Cetacean, cephalopod, and bird mains also commonly opt
Oh my
not to spec into
gosh.
powerful damage-dealing abilities, and instead invest into leveling up their brain power skill tree. While
What?
this does seem like a risky choice, leaving the player more vulnerable in direct 1v1 combat, in actuality this often results in a much less risky playthrough, as the player's intelligence opens up more options for them to progress that don't require winning in combat. This
That's
is especially
fair.
true of the bird faction, as their ability to fly already allows them to quickly escape most unfavorable combat encounters. Today, we're going to discuss
I love when birds give something the side eye. It's one of my absolute favorite things that they do. When they land, they look at something and you can see their little side eye, but they don't engage right away. And they like kind of, you know, look around their surroundings and then they engage. That's one of my favorite things about birds. I love that.
one of the two main intelligence-centered bird builds, the faction that contains crows, ravens, and magpies.
They're also
the
smart.
Corvid.
Oh, yeah.
This video is going to focus mostly on crows.
There's also blue jays. Fun fact, guys. Your little blue jays in the Corvid family.
As an example, but generally what I say in this video should apply to most corvids.
Oh my gosh,
First,
Call of
let's
Duty
discuss their
music.
stats, as well as the abilities and strategies that exemplify them. We'll begin with their stealth stat, which corvids aren't particularly excellent in.
No, they're
The
not.
most popular corvid skins are either jet black or piebald, neither of which grant the user that strong of a stealth bonus. In fact, in snowy areas, jet black feathers are actually one of the least effective choices when trying to remain hidden. A dark appearance is most effective as camouflage at night, but crows and other corvids are not nocturnal builds, so they aren't really gaining this benefit from it. Now, granted, stealth typically isn't all that important for birds, given how agile and vigilant they are. Plenty of other
Bro, why do all cardinals and freaking blue jays have beef? I know why, because they're both like territorial birds. I swear, if you feed birds and you have cardinals and blue jays, there's always a turf war. I swear, if you, it's always.
high-tier avian builds, like for example parrots, are arguably some of the least stealthy birds in the game, and they do just fine. You could even argue that corvids are even less stealthy than their black feathers initially appear, as their iridescence actually makes them even easier to see for certain
They're
other
so
players,
pretty.
typically other birds. Ultimately, I think it's safe to say stealth is
I
not
love
an
them.
important part of their game plan. At least nowhere near as important as it is for ambush predator builds, like an owl.
Oh.
The main predators a crow needs to worry about are
Damn.
raptors. And because of the raptor's keen eyesight ability, it's unlikely having a higher stealth stat would make much of a difference anyway. The crow's defense and constitution stats are fairly average for a bird, which is to say not great. Birds have hollow bones, and their feathers offer fairly little in terms of defense.
See, birds have hollow bones, but they can fly, so you know, it's a give or take scenario right there.
Feathers do absorb some blunt force damage, but when it comes to slashing and piercing damage,
Yeah, get him,
it's
pigeon.
nearly
Get
useless.
him.
And because of their hollow bones, which make them more vulnerable to blunt force damage, the benefit there kind of cancels out as well.
Broken
Snakes,
wing.
cats, raccoons, raptors, and dogs all have a high chance of taking a crow out in one hit, so they cannot let their guard down and interact with any damage dealer builds.
That raccoon just
Given that their
stacked
playstyle
him.
necessitates taking some risk, pro players definitely wish they had more room for error. Thankfully, their next stat makes it pretty easy to avoid damage.
Why are seagulls built this way? Why are they? Why are they so clumsy?
The crow's mobility is a little above average for a mid-sized bird, which is to say excellent.
Oh my
Birds in
gosh.
general are just extremely agile, both on the ground and in the air, making them extremely hard to land an attack on if they see you coming. Some bird builds, like geese
Damn.
and junglefowl, require significant startup in order to get airborne, meaning that they can't rely on
Yep.
their flight to escape danger if the danger is already right in front of them. Crows are not one of these bird builds.
No,
and
crows?
in contrast,
Crows are pretty speedy. They got their little up-down movement on lock.
the startup on their flight move has some shockingly broken frame data,
Yes, it does.
and allows them to quickly and easily reposition themselves in basically any direction in 3D space, almost
Fun fact, crows can fly at speeds of 30 to 60 miles per hour. Crazy.
This makes their ability to dodge attacks one of the best in the entire game, and makes what would normally be fairly dangerous positions, such as right next to a powerful predator, quite safe as long as the Corvid doesn't use any laggy moves. This synergizes well with the Corvid's combat moveset, as we'll discuss in a moment.
Bro!
Corvids are blessed with many high stats, but power is not one of them. Their ability to deal damage is one of the weakest in their weight class, as their only attack option is a simple pecking strike. This move has quick startup and very little end lag, but its damage is egregiously low. Simply attacking with this move will deal minimal
What is the end goal here, Mr. Crow? That is a groundhog? Question mark? What is the end goal here? To scare him away? He probably doesn't even realize you're pecking at him.
damage to anything larger than an insect. Most players will be able to ignore this attack's damage.
He's literally
However,
ignoring
this doesn't mean
it.
Crow's attacks are useless. It just means they've got to be clever about how they use them. A well-placed peck can provoke an attack, and if you're able to move out of their way quick enough, the enraged player will end up being
Oh my
forced to
gosh.
lash out at whoever just happens to be nearby, and create an opening for the Corvid
Crows are the instigator of the world. I'm so confirmed. They are the instigator.
player to capture an objective, steal some loot, or escape trouble. It might seem like a jank strategy, but really this is the bread and butter of Corvid gameplay, and can lead to massive swings in advantage. The chance to afflict the enraged status effect scales with the user's intelligence stat, so the reason this strategy works so
Ew.
well is that the Corvid's intelligence stat is ridiculously high for a non-primate.
He's out here provoking this fight, man. The crow is out here provoking it.
Corvids are tied with parrots for the
Nah.
highest intelligence stat in the entire avian faction. And
They
in
are
addition to
intelligent.
enabling the goading strike moveset, having high intelligence grants Corvids access to a lot of other powerful techniques too, including the ability to use tools. Tool use is one of the most notoriously powerful abilities in the entire game. And in crows, this is no less true. By using hook-shaped wooden sticks, crows can score kills on grubs that are normally safe from everything except for woodpecker attacks.
It's so cool to, I bring this up every single time we talk about crows for those of you who do not know, and he's going to mention it in this video, surely. There's a whole bunch of videos out there if you are curious of people teaching crows how to unlock puzzles or do puzzles, how to get things out of things. Like, there's so many videos on that, so if you ever want to see the intelligence of the crow and like further dive into it, I recommend any of those.
And given how many expensive niche perks woodpeckers need to spec into in order to perform these sorts of drilling attacks, the ability to bypass all of that investment while still gaining the same rewards is a huge
See,
boon
like,
for
look
the
at
crows.
him.
But high intelligence has far more benefits than just allowing crows to copy the success of hyper-specialized builds. Arguably the
It's
most
so
important
cool.
benefit is team tactics. This is what allows baboons to fight off lions, what allows ants to bring down tarantulas, and what allows wolves to prey upon bison. When crows work together,
Did that bison just wiped out the other bison? He did. I think he went to go wipe out the wolves, but he
and what
steamrolled
allows
the
wolves to prey
bison.
upon bison. When crows work together,
my
they can
gosh.
capture territory and control points of interest that they'd otherwise be helpless to defend. They can even rescue each other from what would otherwise be
Damn.
guaranteed lethal attacks, using a tactic called mobbing. Mobbing is a strategy most commonly seen in birds, consisting of bombarding a single target with a barrage of both physical and sonic attacks. On their own, these would be easy to shrug off, but when you're getting pecked at and screeched at from all directions at once,
owls.
it inflicts heavy physical and psychic damage. This is what allows social corvids, like magpies and crows, to successfully chase away predators several times their size.
Jeez.
Ravens, on the other hand, tend not to really need the help, as they're large enough to handle most opponents one-on-one, but can still team up in order.
You just freaking drop kicked that cat. Also, if you're ever in Australia, magpies are like an absolute menace. Here's your fair warning. If you find yourself down under, if you are from down under, you know, If you are going down under to Australia, your warning. I'm giving you your warning. Magpies, they can get a little testy out there.
To lock down a good source of carrion. Alternatively, they may even ally themselves with wolf players, leading them to a carcass and letting them do the work fighting off their competition before sharing in the rewards. Anyway, that's a basic overview of the Corvid build. Now let's talk about their matchups. The Corvid matchup chart is heavily dependent on how effective their goading strike and mobbing techniques are against a given target. Luckily, because of how high the Corvid's intelligence stat is, the list of targets goading strike works against is quite
He's
long.
just stole the frying
It is
pan.
best against builds with lower intelligence stats. Things like vultures, things like reptiles, and things like rodents. What's more, this technique even works on one of the Corvid's 2 primary threats,
Bro!
feline builds.
That's another cat fight that they're out here instigating. That's number 2. Number 2 they
Deadly
started.
as cats are, they're often quite reactive and easily aggroed, so goading strike is the perfect tool to redirect their ferocity. This move is admittedly less effective against the Corvid's other main concern,
Oh my goodness.
raptors. However, thankfully the mobbing technique is quite effective against raptors, so for both of their main threats, the crow players have options. The only builds these techniques aren't that effective against are other high intelligence builds, such
Yeah,
as monkeys
that makes
and
sense.
parrots. Because of their extremely strong social bonding and top-tier intelligence stat,
Damn.
parrots are highly resistant to psychic damage and do not
What?
turn on each other easily. In fact, when pestered by a Corvid, they are likely to defend each other fiercely using their own, more powerful beaks and louder shrieks.
Why would you even go bother all these lorikeets? There's 2 of you guys, and there's how many lorikeets? 1 million? Not actually, like 15? Why would you even try and bothering them?
One-on-one, they're fairly
Oh.
evenly matched, so it tends
Oh.
to just come down to size. But it
Yeah, okay, but that's a cockatoo. And look like a sulfur-crested cockatoo, and they're a little testy. I know crows can be testy. Guys, have you ever worked with a cockatoo in your life? They can be testy.
in groups, Corvids tend to have difficulty forcing parrots away from an objective. As for monkeys, their higher HP allows them
The
to
monkey
more
doesn't
easily
care.
ignore the pecking attacks of a crow. And they're used to getting their tails tugged all the time by their own party members,
Jeez.
so a crow doing it is unlikely to provoke a punishable response.
Jeez!
Crows and parrots have an interesting
Okay.
dynamic. I've said in previous videos that I believe parrots to be the more viable build. They have higher
Yes.
dexterity with their beaks, their sonic shriek attack is incredibly effective, they're more social, and arguably more intelligent even. And yet, of the 2 most intelligent bird builds, there's no denying that in the city biome,
Oh.
corvids are much more successful. I think the reason for this is that even though parrots are indeed more
He just snatched a baby swan. Snatched it.
powerful on their own, and are better at using
Oh my
most tools than
gosh.
crows are. Crows are better at using the most important tool, other players. From provoking attacks
Brother.
and redirecting aggression, to using passing vehicles to deal damage for them and unlock high-value loot, corvids are the best of the best when it comes to using other builds' strengths to cover for their own shortcomings. And if the human build's dominance is any indication, co-opting the strengths of less intelligent builds is one of the strongest strategies you can possibly execute in the game. And it's for this reason that corvids sit proudly in S tier.
I
Speaking
agree.
of builds with a high success rate within the city biome, another creature that thrives in cities is the centipede. With their
Yeah, the centipede goes everywhere. Everywhere you don't want him to be, like your bathroom. Correct, Mr. Centipede.
quick, twitchy movement and flat shape, they
Correct.
have no trouble weaving through all of the nooks and crannies common in urban environments.
Creepy.
This is the subject of my next video, which will be out on
Ooh.
YouTube in a month or so. However, if you'd like to watch that video right now, you can
Yeah.
access it a month in advance on Nebula,
I'm
the
not gonna
sponsor of today's
lie.
video. Now, many of you have heard me talk about Nebula.
That centipede video sounds kind of fire.
Algorithm, no clickbait, and phenomenal content.
Is this
But
like a
this time it's
YouTube?
different. Nebula
Oh.
just underwent a massive overhaul to dramatically improve its UI, to make Nebula's premium
Oh,
content
nice.
easier to find, and its creator list easier to sort through. We've now got categories you can quickly swipe through to get to the sorts of things you're interested in. Hey look, it's the science category. And who's
Hey,
on top? That's right, it's my
look.
original series, Let's Play Outside.
Wait,
An
what is
educational
this series? Let's play outside. Oh my god. Guys, we gotta go get Nebula. There's more TierZoo content out there that I don't know about.
show spotlighting the individual
Oh
lives of
my
interesting animals, done in the
goodness.
style of a Let's Play live stream.
Oh,
One
that's
of the episodes
cool.
I'm most proud of features the mantispid, a fascinating insect that has the characteristics of both a wasp
It's a let's
and a
play, but
mantis.
insects.
How does it fare against other common garden insects?
Ah.
Well, you'll just have to check it out to see. I doubt many of you know this exists. It has been sort of
I
hard to
don't.
find on Nebula before, despite being exclusive to the platform. But now I really hope you give it a watch. One of the other new categories on Nebula is news, which I find really helpful given how complicated geopolitics tends to be lately.
How old is
They
this
have
video?
New current events show called The War Room,
1 year ago.
which is made by the same talented people behind real-life lore and modern conflicts. Much like how
That's
the
kinda
monkey's
cool.
intelligence helps it avoid being used as a pawn in the crow's plan, knowledge about the defining geopolitics of our time is important.
I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to do a Let's Play in like animal format.
Note, one show I've been really enjoying is Archaeology Quest, a show where scientists compete to see who can master the art of Paleolithic
Wait.
survival first. If this all sounds good to you, you can sign up to Nebula using my link at nebula.tv/TierZoo, or use the link below.
Get that
which
bag,
supports me
TierZoo!
directly and gets you all
Let's
this
go.
amazing content for 40% off
Heck
if you
yeah.
choose the annual plan,
Heck yeah.
which adds up to as little as $2.50 a month. Thank you all so much for watching.
Thank
Thanks again
you.
to Nebula for sponsoring this video, and as always, good luck out there.
Oh my gosh, she's collecting Sonic rings. Bro, why is the Corvid better at playing Sonic than I am? He has one Let's Play on YouTube. It's a Dino one. Oh shoot, I guess we can react to that. I didn't realize he had any of them. I kind of want to go get Nebula just to watch his Let's Play, but I will watch the Let's Play Dino one for sure. I really liked it. Corvids are hella cool. They're absolutely one of my favorites. And you guys already know what time it is. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down a crow emoji. I think there's a crow emoji. If there is a crow emoji, do the bird emoji. I think there is a Corvid emoji. If not, just comment down the bird. Same thing. It just shows appreciation. And you watch the little video, and I do this for all my videos. And I don't skip a sponsorship in the videos, so thank you for hanging out and listening to TierZoo sponsor with me and vibing. I appreciate it, and I will catch you guys all on the flip side. Goodbye, everyone.